and I'm going to have Donna run the call for us, and then I'll be back a little later talking about some opportunities. Thanks.
All right, welcome everyone. Thanks for joining. Happy to see you all here, whether I can't see you or can see you. A lot of you I have already met, many of you I haven't. And many of you are totally new to releasing, and this may be the first time you've ever been on a call. So welcome to those of you who are brand new, as well as those of you who are experienced. Everyone's welcome here. We have people from all over the world. So that's the beauty of releasing. It's a powerful tool that anyone can benefit from. And releasing is simple. This is an introduction call, so we're going to go through some of the simplicity of it, but it's just because something's simple doesn't mean that it's not effective. It's extraordinarily effective. And one of the simple things is that it can really decrease the stress and worry and fear, the things that plague us, so that we can have an increase in joy and effectiveness in life and energy. So it really is a huge gift. So we just have about an hour that we're going to be together. So I'm going to share a few things about releasing, sort of talk about it. That's what our mind wants anyways. But the real beauty of our call is that we're going to be releasing together. And there'll be a point here in a few minutes and I'll let you know where you can raise your hand and you can participate. And I highly recommend that you participate, because there's nothing like the actual experience of being relieved from whatever it is that plagues you. And so as we get started here, I just want to say a few things about releasing, and I'll say a few things about Lester Levinson, who's a founder, and then Larry Crane, who's Lance's father. So releasing is a natural ability that we have, that we all have. Anything, it doesn't matter what life throws your way, you have the ability to release. Just like when you're a little kid and somebody stepped on your foot and you just got upset, and then your nature was to play, so you just got upset, had your outburst, and it was over. But now in our kind of adult life, we have these constant money worries, constant health problems, guilt, disapproval. We feel like a victim. I'm not good enough. We have this inability to, kind of speak up and just be our own authority, all kinds of confusion about life, relationship problems. I mean, it feels hopeless. And it's like we've lost this ability. Now we're kind of caught in this merry-go-round that's like a misery go-round. We never get anywhere. We're just every year working on the same old problems. And the way the mind works is that it's like a computer. It's been programmed. And these programs it's a recording and playback device. It's just recorded up these programs through what we call our memories. And now it just keeps playing them back over and over on automatic. And it's like we can't stop thinking. It's like we can't control our mouth. We think something and it comes out of our mouth. And then we're complaining, and we're just constantly telling people what's wrong with us or what's wrong with the world. And I have these opinions. The beauty of releasing is you release yourself from all of that, all these thought patterns, all this constant flow of emotions that seem to weigh us down and make us feel so heavy. And it makes life seem like it's so hard, like life is a problem. It's like the bane of our existence, is this suffering, this unsatisfying life. Releasing is just this powerful, simple, practical tool that can work on any area of life. And Larry Crane, who really got releasing out to the world, I mean, he came from the guidance of Lester. He lived with Lester for 22 years, was friends with Lester, was a student of Lester's, and he learned that, and when I say learned, he didn't learn by like understanding it intellectually. We can talk about it, but he learned through the experience. It's not like classroom learning where you read information somebody else studied and then you take a test and now I know what they know. This gives you a radical knowing that nobody could have convinced you of, but you can experience it, and then you have it for yourself. As a matter of fact, Lester always said, and Larry would just reinforce what he learned from Lester, you have to prove it to yourself. Once proven for yourself, it doesn't matter if 1,000 people tell you it doesn't work, you know it works because you've proven it. And that's the beauty of releasing. And so when we go through life, like I said, the mind works like a computer. It has these limiting programs. When we get to the place where all these limiting programs, we feel like we're being like compressed, like the pressure of life, the pressure of society. And it starts to hurt. We get exhausted. We don't want to feel all this pressure, but we seem like we start basically hating ourselves. It's like self-hatred. We hate others. We feel hurt. We feel, defeated, constantly blaming and feeling judged. And it's like a growing snowball. And we don't want anybody else to know about how bad we feel. So we walk around with a smile. We tell everybody, hope you have a good day. And we don't face the fact that we're busting up inside. Larry used to say that all the time. I was just busting inside. And so imagine if you had a life where you just never disapproved of yourself. You just never put yourself down. And you just were like birds just floating through in this, sort of playground of life. I mean, for a lot of us, we're not even interested. Like, that just sounds too good to be true. Like, we like our suffering. We're comfortable with our suffering. What? A life without complaining? So we start to step back and realize maybe I don't have to go through life and just fit into the miserable, society and way that everybody is towards each other, hating on each other, mocking each other, mimicking each other, being jealous of each other, envious of each other, putting each other down. Maybe I don't have to go through it. Maybe all of this is just it's a prod to wake up and realize that there's something so extraordinary that is like hidden in plain sight. And Lester called it freedom, to be free of all of this. And freedom comes in every direction. If you want to have money, have it. Nobody's preventing you from having it, but your programs are telling you you can't have it. You lack it. You don't deserve it. You're unworthy, or you're stupid, or whatever your programs are telling you. Or you can't have good health. You can't have, there's nothing we can't have, but we tell ourselves we can't have it and we believe it. So we're kind of a victim of our own circumstances. So the beauty of releasing is it's a set of tools that you can use that easily, painlessly, you release all these suppressed emotions, because that's what the programs are, all these feelings. And we don't like the feelings. Like if someone cuts us off in traffic, it's like stimulus and response. You're fine. You're totally having a great day. And all of a sudden someone cuts you off and now your anger comes up. You start flipping the person off. Right? Or if you feel overwhelmed, you feel like you have too much to do. I mean, last week, in the US, we had taxes. So everybody was overwhelmed, like, oh my gosh, I got to get these done. We panic over our finances. So again, we're going to start releasing in just a minute here. I just want to say a few things about Lester, because Lester was an extraordinary man. I mean, he was really it's just an amazing story, because he started out just like us. He was smart. He went to school. He graduated as a physicist. He got a scholarship. They didn't give out scholarships in those days. And he, was under the belief that you have to try to be a good person. You have to make a lot of money. That makes you a good person. He was in science at first and a physicist, and then he went into engineering. He realized that engineers didn't seem to be appreciated, so he went into business. He kind of shifted back and forth, changing fields. And then he ended up started having all of these, diseases, it's like dis-ease. And he had migraines and ulcers and all kinds of, depression and different things that were wrong with him. He called them businessman diseases, the pressures of a businessman. And he eventually had a heart attack, a massive heart attack. And then he had a second massive heart attack. And on the second one, the doctor told him he only had a few weeks left. Maybe longer, maybe not as long, but that there was zero chance of survival and there's nothing we can do. And Lester, first of all, it was a shock, obviously. You know, he's only 42 years old. And now he's being kind of put into the tomb of his apartment in New York City that's saying, like, you shouldn't even take a step. You shouldn't go up the steps. You might die any minute. He recognized how driven he was. And he thought, wow, if all of this pushing and driving and trying to get somewhere has got me a foot and a half in the grave, I must have missed something. He never felt fulfilled. On the surface, Lester was this very nice guy, but underneath he saw he had a lot of pride, a lot of anger. He thought he was smarter than everybody else. But his heart attack made him realize that all this accumulated knowledge, all this smarts that he had, what good is it if it's got you in the grave? So he began to look at what's the purpose for all this? Why are we as human beings, why do we go through all this? What's our relationship to this world? What's the point? If you're just going to go through life and then you're just going to die and lose everything you work so hard for? So he saw that there was this inner drive, this intensity to get the answer of what life was all about. And the first thing he realized after he was diagnosed was he was still breathing. Hey, maybe it's not too late. Maybe they're telling me it's too late, but maybe it's not true. Maybe I can get myself out of this. So what does a physicist do? You go back to the lab. You start from scratch. So he started investigating. He started rethinking from what he had previously been thinking to look again. And he discovered that the happiest times of his life was when he was loving, when he was being loving, when he was loving others, whether it was his friends and he just was so happy for them, or whether it was intimate relationship and he had so much love for them. He discovered that when he was loving was when he was happiest. And he started to change his thinking, going back through his memories, taking the memory and saying, could I change this unloving feeling to a feeling of love? So he started with the doctor that diagnosed him because he hated that guy. He's like, he told me there's nothing I can do, go home and die. Good, good riddance, basically. He was very angry that guy did that. But he started saying, can I change these feelings of blame and anger and judgment? Can I just change them to a feeling of love? And he stayed with it. Scientists, they do an experiment and they stay with the experiment. They do it until they can prove it. And then he was able to do it. After he worked on it a bit, then he went through other situations where he felt like somebody, screwed him basically in business and made his business fail. And he started changing, going back through, like, reliving those memories and changing them where everything worked out fine. And he saw he could do it, that it was his imagination, that he was at war with his own imagination, his memory, which had distorted things and had him look at it a certain way. So as he started changing his feelings from unloving to loving, his body got better. He ended up he was 42 when he was diagnosed with zero chance of survival. He ended up living another 42 years in perfect health. And the other thing that is, notable that I just want to point out, that he also saw after he really started to sort of see that, yeah, he had the capacity to change his feelings from unloving to loving. He saw that he automatically was judging everything in the world, like wanting to change things in the world. He thought he was smarter than everybody else. He wanted to change the government, the tax system, the presidents, the world leaders. He saw he just couldn't, he wasn't just accepting things as they were, letting things be. So he asked himself the question, like, could I just let go of wanting to change or control things? Like, do I have the capacity for that? So whenever the automatic prompt would come up that he didn't like something, he thought something should be different, he would stop and take a pause and say, no, I let that go. I let go of that. And essentially, over a 3-month period of time, he completely dropped all of his wanting to control things, disapproving of things, ultimately even dropped the fear of dying. He saw the truth was that we are all limitless beings, that we are all infinite beings, that we are not limited by, we're only limited by the programs that we've accepted to be true. And when he started to realize that what he did by letting go of all of his conditioning, by letting go of all the frustrations, all the pressures, all the everything, he saw that everybody could do it, that he wasn't special, that he stumbled upon something that is our natural ability. And because he was an engineer and a physicist, he knew how energy worked, he knew how efficiency worked. He formulated it so that he could give it to us, so he could give us away, because we didn't have a gun to our head. We didn't have a heart attack that said we only have 2 weeks left to live. So he wanted to give it to us in a way that we could actually use it ourselves, benefit from ourselves. And when Larry met him in the 70s, I think it was in the 70s, he spent 22 years, as I mentioned, with Lester. And he just thought Lester was too good to be true. It's just like one day he thought Lester was going to want something from him, but Lester never wanted anything from Larry. He only wanted to give Larry what he had discovered. And so part of why I'm taking a few minutes to explain this to us is because we just have to understand what the problem is and what the solution is. And the problem is the programming. The computer, which is like a recording and playback mechanism, like if you think about all the things your parents told you, do this, don't do that. Oh, if your hair's not combed and your face isn't washed, like people aren't going to like you. So then we become obsessed with, people liking us. So we start to see how that is still playing out in our life today. Or fear, like if you're not careful, like somebody's going to take you. Don't talk to strangers. Those things got recorded up in the mind, and now we feel like I have to carry mace with me if I'm going to walk at night because somebody might try to kidnap me. But that's all our imagination. Nobody's trying to kidnap you, but it could happen. That's what our mind says. So we've given authority to the mind, has become like our parent. And we're also conditioned by not just past generations, but society, the news, television, billboards. I mean, all these external images that are basically telling us what is going to happen to us. So we better conform. We better do what everybody else is doing. We better stay in line and be afraid. So again, it's a tragic way of living if that's not necessary. If there is a way of being free of all of that, free of all the agony of lack, the agony of being afraid of other human beings. I mean, we have a whole list of unwanted feelings. Most of us, we just do whatever we can. We eat food, just kind of stuff down our feelings. We do all kinds of things to try to deal with our feelings. But what if there was a way to have relief from our feelings? Like not just temporary relief. Maybe it starts out temporary relief, but where we can discover it can be a permanent relief from feelings. Then if you want to have a feeling, then go right ahead, but they're not automatic. You're not run by them. Because it begins to feel hopeless. And I mean, I talk to people every day and people feel hopeless. Their situation is hopeless. And so Lester's giving us away. It's not a hope. It's a fact that you can learn this and you can do this. So look, if you don't like your anger, you don't want to deal with it. You stuff it down. If you don't like your sadness, like if someone dies in your life, you feel low, you feel depressed. I want that person back. Like feeling sad and feeling low or feeling angry is going to help things. It just adds to it. Or if something scares us, we don't want to look at it. And we're walking around with all these suppressed feelings. So in releasing, we're going to start releasing now. find something that bothers you. Find anything that bothers you, because, the whole point is it's time for us to take control and stop being dominated by the sound playing in our head. Stop being dominated by what we believe, what we are assuming to be true. We're assuming we're limited. We're assuming we have to live this way. And now you can discover that it's not true. All the assumptions can be re-looked at, like Lester did. He re-examined everything. So it's really your direct experience that makes all the difference. So just raise your hand. Let's do some releasing. And then if you have some questions later, we can answer some questions. And don't be shy, because again, the whole point of this is for you to realize that here you have it, an opportunity. So if nobody raises their hand, then hey, what can we do? Then we can just say, okay, nobody's interested in being free. Nobody's interested in, everybody wants to keep their suffering. So let's get started. And especially if you're new, if you've never released before, it's a wonderful thing. Wonderful opportunity. All right. So who's new? Bobby, I'll get to you after, but let's see if somebody new that would like
Totally cool. It's totally cool.
Yeah.
I love the new releasers to jump in. I just thought I would get some momentum going here.
Yeah, yeah. Bobby to the rescue, right?
No, I'll release on the wall.
That's the beauty, is like, for sometimes, I mean, I'll just share while some of you are, I don't know if you have to get up the nerve. I mean, really, if you look at what's keeping you from not experiencing it, it's the same. Larry had a saying that says, how you do anything is how you do everything. How you do anything is how you do everything. So if you're scared to raise your hand, look at what else you're scared of in life.
Yeah, I'll raise my hand.
There is Tom Murphy, Adam Rose.
All right. Are you talking to me, Nina?
Yes. I'll get you Tom.
Yeah. Let me grab Tom. Tom, you can unmute yourself. Oh,
Hey
yeah.
there. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Good.
Tom.
So I've got an old friend of mine who's got thrown in jail on a trumped up charge back in Ohio, and been trying to get him out on bail, and it's just not worked out so far. And he's anyhow, it's very frustrating because the justice system in Muskingum County isn't exactly the most, how would you say, fair, as
Okay.
the lawyer describes. It's a little corrupt there.
Okay.
So anyhow, that's going on.
So yeah, so let's look at, you can see that there's like an assumption that like you have to do something to get him out of jail, right?
Yes.
And then there's an assumption that the system is rigged or whatever, and that nothing I do is helping, right? So can you find that in other areas in your life where you feel like there's a kind of an effort to get something done, and then it's just not working out?
Maybe not quite to that level, but there's definitely lots of effort to work things out that I don't want to put in or don't,
Right. So there's kind of like a reluctance.
There's more things to do than there's time to effort. How about
Okay,
that?
good. All right. So this thing called, so when we were just kind of examining it, what is it that what's the deep feeling that you really just you don't like it? Is it frustration?
Yes. Oh, I guess the unfairness of the world or something like that.
Okay, good, perfect. All right. So now and everybody, let's just release along. So can you get in touch with that feeling of unfairness of the world? Can you just allow the feeling to come up so you can actually feel for it? Because you're feeling it all the time anyways, right? I mean, all you have to do is look at the news, right? and you see like it's just everybody's being accused of everything, right? The rich get richer, the poor get poorer, right? There's criminals everywhere, this injustice. So can you just get in touch with the injustice, the feeling of injustice? And now can you just feel it even more? Like really feel that, and everybody just follow along, really feel for that injustice. Like it's just wrong. It's just flat out bad. It's wrong. See if you can feel that, like the anger underneath that. If you feel into it, you just feel underneath it even more. It might feel hopeless. It might feel sad, but it might be that there's just anger. Just like this is, human beings are terrible. They're just constantly conning each other. So I'm not trying to plant ideas in your mind. I'm trying to trigger that feeling so you can feel it even stronger. So what do you feel when you just feel it totally?
Oh, I feel a tightness in the chest physically, but I'm realizing, I am definitely programmed to think that
Right.
the world's unfair,
Right.
at least from the point of view of one lifetime or one
Right. So
person's
that's
point of view.
intelligence, Tom. Can you see that? You just admitted, I've been programmed to see the world as unfair. So you can look back, and not that we're into psychoanalyzing things, but you can look back as a little kid and see that they say it when they're little kids. It's not fair. I want more cookies. It's not fair. Right? I want, so Tommy got a bigger piece of cake than me. That's not fair. So it's been going on for, you know, throughout this seeming life experience. So just for now, are you willing to just release it, to let it go? Or you can continue, if you want to continue believing things are not fair and being upset with people, you can do that, but you don't have to. When you see that you can easily release yourself from this habit, that's what it is, just that pattern. So just for now, can you just open up, just pretend like you have a door in the front of your body and you're opening up this kind of space so you can let the feelings up and out. We're just sort of unsuppressing them. Could you just say yes to the feelings so they can leave?
My mind is saying, "Oh, this is too. This just isn't reality." That's Yes, as a child, I can see those are childish things, but there's real inequities in this world right now.
That's your belief.
Yes.
Right. So right now we're just asking you, you can pick up your belief later, but let's see what happens if we let go of the belief. Now, you brought up a really good point, Tom, and I just want to highlight it for everyone. You witnessed your mind saying no. No, I'm not going to let this go because that's just not realistic. But is that sound playing in your head that said no, which you witnessed? You are not that no. You're just observing. Is that an authority over you? Because isn't that not fair that you have some sound in your head telling you what to do? What you can let go of, what's right, what's wrong? I mean, is maybe that sound is actually the problem? So now I'm talking to you. I'm not talking to that sound. Are you willing? Just pull your shoulders back, open up, and just say, you know what? There you go. Now I'm going to say yes to this. So could you just say yes to the injustice? Just for now.
And say yes to letting the injustice flow through me, not hold it, you mean, or what?
Yeah, you're just letting it go. You're letting it come up to the surface. Come on up, injustice. Could you say yes to the feeling of injustice? It's just a feeling. You can't put injustice on the table, can you? It's just a thought. It's a word, injustice.
Sure. I mean, I can obviously play intellectual and tell you injustice stories.
Right, exactly. That's it. You can't go to the grocery store and buy injustice, right? You can't, there's no aisle for it. It's not a thing. It's a psychological program running in the mind. So just for now, if you can see how one program runs, you can see how all these programs run. So could you just say yes to the injustice so it can leave? Just be the boss. Take the reign. You can, like I said, you can pick it up if you want to go back to it. But could you just say yes to it so it can leave?
Yeah.
And to-
I'm happy to do that, but
okay, so you just say yes.
yes,
Okay, could you say yes some more? And everybody follow along.
yes,
And yes some more.
yes,
And yes some more.
yes,
And yes a little more.
yes,
And yes even more.
yes,
And yes even more.
yes,
And yes even more.
yes,
And even more.
yes,
And some more.
yes.
And now just check and see. Do you feel a tiny bit lighter?
No, it's impressive. I definitely am lighter,
Right.
less tension.
So you see, you have the capacity to take responsibility that like, hey, wait a second, this is just a sound playing. It's not my mother. It's not my, I don't have to listen to everything it says, especially when you see that it's making injustice everywhere. So can you see by claiming that there's bad people out there, that there's that judgment, it's a disapproving judgment?
Oh yes.
Right. Now, does your disapproving of what you think is real, does that make your life better? Does that make the world a better place by you adding negativity by disapproving of it?
Oh, obviously not.
Obviously not, right? So just for now, can you decide to be positive and loving so we can let go of the negative judging? Because that's what that's injustice as well, right? You're just assuming that everybody's bad. Right? That there's victims and there's the ones that are the jailers, you know, and your friend's a great example. But just for now, could you decide to be positive and loving about it just for 1 minute so you can realize something else?
I can, yes, of course.
Yes. Yeah, the answer is yes, right? Because you've already tried it the other way. And if the other way was going to make it better, it would have worked by now. So could you let go of disapproving of yourself?
Yes,
Could you let go of disapproving of yourself some more?
yes,
Could you let go disapproving of yourself a little more?
yes,
And some more?
yes,
And a little more?
yes,
And some more?
yes,
And could you let go disapproving of yourself even more?
yes,
And could you let go disapproving of what your mind's telling you about the world?
yes,
And could you let go disapproving of what your mind's saying more about the injustice?
yes,
Could you let go disapproving of it some more?
yes,
And a little more?
yes,
And even more?
yes,
And just for now, could you just let go of disapproving of whatever got recorded in the past when you were little that said it wasn't fair? Could you let go of disapproving of whatever ever happened that wasn't fair, just for 1 minute?
yes,
And could you just turn it around now? Could you just give yourself some love and approval, even if you know, made a mistake somewhere? Could you give yourself some love and approval?
sure.
Could you give
Yes,
yourself some more love and approval?
yes,
And some more?
yes,
And some more?
yes,
And could you give love and approval to those who you really don't know what happened? Like you don't really know what your friend did or didn't do, or what they did or didn't do. You just, it's all stories, right? But you don't really know. Could you just give them all some love and approval?
yes,
It's kind of like actors in a movie, right? You don't really know. They're just actors, right? They're just reading their scripts. Could you give them some love and approval?
yes,
And some more love and approval?
yes,
And some more love and approval?
yes,
And even more?
yes,
And some more?
yes,
And more?
yes,
And then just check in when you're just, you know, sort of unobstructing your heart and just letting love out. Does that feel a little better than making everybody wrong?
yes,
See, when you correct the injustice in your own experience, you've just you now you're contributing, you know, now you're a beneficial presence, right? Instead of adding more negativity into the injustice of the world. I'm not saying that that we don't see injustices out there. I'm not for or against anything, but it's just seeing how we are harboring this for ourselves and it doesn't really get us anywhere. It's just like it's counterproductive. It's exhausting. Right? So now,
oh yeah.
yeah, see, now you start to see that not only was your friend in jail, but you sort of been in jail of your own mind, right? imprisoned by
Yes.
your own belief system. And you realize, hey, if I can get out of jail free, then maybe his being in jail is just a mirror for me to look at my own prison. So
Yes.
would you like the get out of jail free card? Because
Yes.
it's in your pocket. This is it. This is how profound releasing. And this is we're just sort of scratching the surface of the how releasing works. I mean, we just go deeper into the way the mind is just what it's like a toilet, you know, it just sucks you down. But the beauty is when you start loving it, you start spiraling up, and then you feel so much happier, so much lighter, so much more peaceful. And then, like I say, you know, you start it becomes unnecessary, right? Suffering becomes unnecessary. Like you've had enough, right? It brought you here, basically. For me, I suffered enough, and somehow I stumbled upon the release technique, and it was just the greatest thing ever. And it took me a while. I was a little hard-headed. I was a little worldly. So it took what it took, but you know, I stuck with it, and I really saw it's like a warm knife in butter. It just kind of cuts through these programs. So thanks so much, Tom. Keep releasing along with us now that you got a taste of it. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
All right, so let's see. Adam.
Good morning.
Morning, Adam.
So, I would like to focus on the fact that I don't feel like I'm far enough along in my career,
Okay.
and I'm afraid to put myself out there in the way that I need to.
Okay.
Given what I do, I have to put myself out there.
Okay.
Yep.
So can you see that it's like a contradiction? On one hand, you say, I need to put myself out there. It's a career I've chosen, right? You weren't born with that career, right? So somehow something inspired us to put ourselves in a career of doing something that we put ourselves out there. But like you say, the contradiction is really like, I have a fear about it. And so how does having that fear help your career?
Zero.
It's zero, right? And so then we
Yeah.
have to question, like, why do I have this fear? What's the source of this fear? Can I put fear on the table? Can I
No.
go to the grocery store and buy fear? Or is it just a feeling? Is it just a word?
It's a feeling.
Yeah, it's a feeling. And it's like, if you think about all the things we were programmed with as children, you know, you have to be afraid, right? It's like, it's a smart way of living. Like somebody might take you, you know, you might get lost, you might screw up, they might laugh at you, right? So we've been programmed this is a pattern. Like we said, the mind's a recording and playback mechanism. So now let's just take it from where Tom was experiencing. It's just a dynamic shift. So right now, could you just allow yourself to feel the fear?
Yeah.
You can just picture yourself like stepping outside your comfort zone, right? And it's a stimulus response. So we want to bring it up so we can really examine it. So could you just turn up the fear, like feel it even stronger?
Yep.
Yeah. Can you just imagine it even stronger? Just being, you know, stage fright. I'm assuming from the guitar in the background that you may be a stage performer. So could you increase it even more? Being and even more, just get in touch with that fear. And just notice when you're just letting it all come up to the surface. You notice like your head's not falling off, your butt's not falling off. Like it's not really hurting you. It's just a feeling, right? So could you just say yes to the fear so it can leave? Because you say you want it to leave, right? You want to continue in your career, but on the same time, it's not holding on to us. We're holding on to it. So could you say yes to the fear some more so it can leave?
Yes.
And could you say yes to it some more so it can leave even more?
Yes.
And could you say yes even more?
Yes.
And yes a little more?
Yes.
And yes even more?
Yes.
And everybody release together. Could you say yes to the fear some more?
Yes.
And yes some more?
Yes.
And yes even more?
Yes.
And even more?
Yes.
And then just check in and see, what do you experience? Not what do you think, but what's a deeper experience when you're just saying yes to the very thing that's been, threatening you, haunting you.
There's some lightness, feeling of lightness.
Right. So if just by saying yes to something for a few seconds, it turns you in a different direction, like a new direction. Right? Can you
Mhm.
see that you've been saying no to it?
Yeah, for sure.
Can you see that you don't like it? You resist the fear?
Hmm.
Does fear really protect you? It's just a word.
No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't. It just plagues us. So just for now, could you see that turning in the right direction, getting lighter, might actually be the answer?
Definitely, yeah.
And what we did was we didn't resist it. We actually brought it up,
Hmm.
right? We increased it. And it never really showed itself, did it? It's not like fear just came running outside of your veins or whatever. It's
Yeah.
not, it's like an illusion. It appears real, it feels real. I mean, we have a lot of evidence of it being real, but we've never actually seen it before, have we?
No.
So could you let go of wanting to figure out how to get rid of the fear?
Yeah.
Because the mind
Yeah.
wants to know, well, how do I get rid of this thing that is called fear? Could you let go? And everybody follow along. Could you let go of wanting to know what you should do about it?
Yes.
Could you let go of wanting to know what the answer is?
Yes.
Could you let go of wanting to know anything just for 1 minute?
Yes.
And could you let go of wanting to think?
Yes.
And could you let go of wanting to think even more?
Yes.
And could you let go of wanting to think even more?
Yes.
And even more?
Yes.
And what do you experience if there's no thinking?
Just feeling.
Yeah, what's there though? If there's no thinking, no feelings even, if there's just a deeper experience.
Just this. Just
Right. And how big is here, Adam? What's the dimensions of here?
it can't be measured.
It can't be measured, right? And where are you?
Here.
But if you're here as Adam, you have fear. But if you're here as here, there's nothing to fear.
Mhm.
Right? Because there's nothing outside of it. What could get you?
Yeah.
But if you take yourself to be this form, we think there's another form called fear that's going to get us. Can you see like how debilitating it is?
Hmm.
To not actually examine it and see that, oh, this is like a cheap trick. You know the band Cheap Trick?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like an illusion. That's right. We're aware of, but we don't, it's like we're not really seeing like, oh my gosh, I don't have to follow this. I could be aware of it, but I don't need to be run by it.
Hmm.
You're the boss. So could you now just give yourself permission to just go outside whatever the jail boundaries are and take a chance and see that like nothing's trying to get you.
Yeah.
Whenever we're doing
Mhm.
something that's a little new, we're not as familiar with, I mean, at first you might make a mistake, so what? But if you do it, again and again, then you get more and more confident with it, right?
Yeah. Hmm.
But if you never do it, then you just think I'm just going to fail. But what if that's just your mind's conclusion? So, can you see that fear is it's like a joke?
Mhm.
It's only
Yeah.
it's only sustained by your belief in it being real and your resistance to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Really good.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. It's amazing to really see how much this is just a trickery.
Mm.
So, yeah, thank you so much. All right, let's see. Is
Mhm.
it Anga? Is that how you say your name?
Yes, Anga.
Anga.
Yes.
Nice to meet
Hello.
you.
Nice to meet you.
So what's coming up for you? What's something that you would say makes you feel like you don't have control of your life, or you feel you feel like there's just a lot of unwanted feelings that just keep resurfacing.
I guess at the moment I'm just trying to figure out. Excuse me. Um, People tire me. Like in my line of work, I have to like meet a lot of people,
Okay. You know,
And
your volume's a little low. Is there a way you can turn your volume up a little bit?
I do that. This is better.
Mm, do you have another
Audible?
source of raising the volume?
I'm near a pool, so it might be.
Is this better like this?
Oh my gosh, a
Yeah.
thousand times better. So go ahead. Say it again. You said you were in a career that,
No, I meet a lot of people every day, and it's fine. But I realize it's just tiring for me. So I need a lot of time to like recharge, and I wish I could just be, well, have more energy, I guess, to like deal with people.
okay.
That's
All
why
right. So people kind of, you feel like they kind of
they take my energy.
deplete your energy, and then you
Like,
need, right,
yeah.
and you need to kind of like replenish your energy so that you could deal with them, so they could deplete your energy some more, so that you could replenish and then deplete and replenish. Can you see, like, in a strange way, that's like a lot of work, right?
Work, yeah.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
sometimes I'm like,
So what is it about them taking your energy? What's the feeling that you get of dealing with people? You don't like them, right?
no, I don't really like people, to be honest.
Right. So when you don't like people, can you see you're disapproving of them?
Yes, I can.
And does that make you like people? Does that make your life better? Does that make you feel energetic by disapproving of them?
No, it doesn't.
And you know, the interesting thing, Anga, is that you're a people. So if you don't like people, you don't like yourself in a way. Can you see that, like, deep down, there's this kind of feeling of like, I don't really like being a people.
Approval of myself. Yeah. I
Yeah,
see.
yeah. And so on one hand, we feel like we want to get approval from others. It's like one of the biggest poisons we were programmed with is wanting other people to like us. And it feels like a lot of work.
Yeah.
So just for now, I mean, you really struck on something so important. So just for now, could you decide to be positive and loving just for 1 minute? Or you can
Yes.
keep disapproving of them, but disapproving isn't getting you anywhere. It's just an exhausting cycle.
Yeah.
So could you let go of disapprove? Let's start with you. Could you let go of disapproving of yourself?
Yes.
Could you let go of disapproving of yourself some more? And everybody release together.
Yes.
And could you let go of disapproving of yourself even more?
Yes.
And could you let go of disapproving of yourself even more?
Yes.
And a little more.
Yes.
And even more.
Yes.
And could you let go of disapproving of the others, even if they deserve it? Could you let go of disapproving of them some more? Because our mind says they deserve it. They're sucking my energy, but it might be the mind that's sucking your energy. So could you let go of disapproving of them?
Yes, I can.
Could you let go of disapproving of them some more?
Yes.
And even more,
Yes.
and a little more,
Yes.
and even more.
Yes.
And if you see the world as a puppet show, could you let go of disapproving of like all the puppets in the whole puppet show, all the people?
Yeah.
Could you let go of disapproving them some more?
Yes.
Supposedly 8 billion. Could you let go of disapproving of them some more?
Yes.
And more.
Yes.
And now can you turn it around? Can you just give yourself love and approval for no reason?
Yes.
And reluctantly, could you give yourself some more love and approval?
Yes.
And some more?
Yes.
And even more?
Yes.
And some more?
Yes.
And could you give love and approval to those energy vampires?
Well, exactly. Yes.
Could you give them some more love and approval?
Yes.
And more?
Yes.
And more?
Yes.
And some more?
Yes.
And all the puppets in the whole puppet show, the worldwide puppet show, could you just give them all love and approval?
Yes. I
And you
can.
just unobstruct your heart and just like let the love, like it's like letting love just radiate to the whole play. Could you just love it some more?
Yes. I
And
can.
some more?
Yes.
And some more? And some more. And what do you experience? Just check in, not what do you think? Your mind might be protesting about all this, but what's the deeper experience?
The deeper experience, I feel lighter already. Yeah, this is the mind, keep telling me like,
Exactly.
people are assholes,
Right. See, there it is, right there.
I'm the asshole.
It's a judgment. So
Mindset. Yeah.
right. So people, so but you make such a good point, because if I have it already in my mind that people are assholes,
Yeah.
then before I even meet a new person, they're already an asshole, because that's what's in our mind.
Yeah.
And the mind's a recording and playback device. But at some point you realize, where's the real asshole is the ego. Right?
Yeah.
It's just playing the same pattern over and 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 over. But now we just turned it around, and you said you feel a little lighter. And
Yes,
if
I
you
do.
were in the other direction, you would just get lighter and lighter and lighter and lighter. And then pretty soon, all that stuff just drops away. And you don't have to deal with the ego. It's the ego that really is what's obstructing and sucking the energy. That's the real energy vampire.
Yeah.
But it's only our belief that we have to follow its lead that is causing us this problem. Right? When you realize, hey, I'm the boss. So just say that right now. Just pull your shoulders back. I'm the boss.
I'm the boss.
It's just a sound playing in my head.
Just a sound playing in my head.
I love you, ego.
I love you, ego.
And I let you go.
And I'll let you go.
And just wipe it out. Just like you're erasing a chalkboard when you're in school. You got this like demon ego on there, and you just erase the whole thing.
Yeah.
And then what do you experience when it's not there?
Nothingness.
Right. It's just quiet.
It's quiet, yeah.
Exactly. So your nature is actually quiet.
Yes.
But you're taking yourself to be this noise because you're listening to a noise that's telling you you're an asshole or whatever. But the beauty is just being able to see. It's like a cheap trick. Now, if you were watching a magic show and they were just sawing some lady in half, they put her in a box and they sawed her in half, but her hands are still moving and her feet are still moving, it's an illusion. Right? You don't have to go save the lady because she's not really being sawed in half, but it looks that way. It appears real. So the same thing with the ego. It's playing all this kind of illusory stuff, saying, like Tom was saying, this injustice, and Adam was saying about the fear, and all of it is just can be let go of.
Yes.
Because it's taking a lot of energy. I'm sorry, say it again.
No, the mind try to hold on what's comfortable. It's like just trying to, yeah.
Because it wants to survive.
Yeah.
But meanwhile, you're suffering. You're suffering, and it wants to survive because it wants to convince you that you're the problem. But you're not the problem. It's the problem. Yeah. But it wants to survive. So it's going to make it look like the other people are the problem. Right?
Yeah.
It's always blaming everything else instead of realizing, no, it's the program thinking that is the problem, the recording and playback device. But when you really see that you can't put it on the table. If you go get an x-ray, they can't give you an x-ray of your ego. It doesn't exist. It's just, we just believe it exists.
Yeah, it doesn't exist. Definitely give you neck pain.
Right. It gives you all kinds of body pains, right?
Yeah,
Convince you that you're dying, right? It'll convince you all kinds of things. But the beauty of releasing, and this is really for everyone, the beauty of releasing is that you start to see the truth. You start to see through the cheap trick of the mind, and you're free. And then you can do whatever. And if you want to talk to people, you talk to people, but your energy is not, you're not blaming them for sucking your energy, because it's not them. And it's not you. It's this mind that we have somehow given so much authority to. So yeah, it's good news. It's really good news. So thanks a lot. I appreciate it. Yeah. And I want to just share just one more comment. I was listening to Lester last night, and there's just one more comment that it was just so, someone asked the question about, Lester had full realization, and, how do I get that? I mean, how do I have what Lester had, right? So Lester became a free being. He was no longer a slave to the system of thinking. He wasn't a slave to the world. He was free to live whatever life he decided to live. And he never didn't go to a doctor after that. He didn't have any bodily ailments. And so, I mean, here it is, right? It's the subconscious thoughts that are, he said, it's like if there's this river and then there's a bunch of logs that get dammed up in the river, once you start pulling out the logs, which are the subconscious thoughts and feelings, once you start pulling out those logs, then the whole infinity behind the dam can flow. And the reason why people don't discover this at first is one, because they're not looking for it, because they're just trying to keep up with the dam of the world, right? Just to keep struggling and suffering and trying to get somewhere. So they're unconsciously looking for it in the wrong direction. And they don't realize that the ultimate happiness that they're really looking for is that they are a being with no limits, that we each are beings with no limits. But just by force of habit, we identify with these limited bodies, we identify with troubles, we identify with all these jerks out there that we have to deal with. We identify and we accept it. As long as we accept it, it continues. But it's when the problems and the difficulties get more and more, you start to see a futility of like, I'm not really getting anywhere. And so when you go through this extreme, like Lester went through this heart attack, it shook him up enough to start to re-question the whole thing. Now, hopefully we don't have to have a heart attack. We don't have to have a diagnosis of 0 chance of survival for us to realize, why not get what Lester got by just following his example, what he gave us. He gave us the map of how to get out of the mess. And he said that when you realize that happiness doesn't come from the world. I mean, fleeting happiness, if somebody gives you something, you're happy, but if they take it away, you're not happy. So it's not the happiness which is undisturbable. Then he said that we start to discover the truth of what we are, and then you discover what he discovered, that you're actually a free being. And he said anyone can do it if you first hear about it. And that's what we're doing today. We're just spreading what Lester, we're just sharing it with people. We're not saying believe anything we say. It's provable. It's a fact. If you do this continuously, and then we have a course where you can jump in and we can show you how to make it constant. So you're not in the constant negative, the downward suck of the mind. And second, if you have a little bit of faith that it works, that it can work, because if we only have faith that it doesn't work, that nothing's going to work, that everybody sucks and there's injustice everywhere and that's just the way it is, you got to have a little crack, a little opening that says, you know what, it's possible. I'm not saying it works, it doesn't work. It's possible. And I mean, we have proof of so many people that have really gotten so much clarity out of using the release technique. So that's the second thing, is just having that little crack of possibility. And the third thing is that you want it so much that you're willing to learn it, you're willing to practice it, and then you prove it. And that's more important than anything else, that you prove it to yourself. Then you discover that you too are unlimited and that your joy and your abundance has no limits. Instead of living the way we're living, where we're always comparing ourselves to others, we always feel like we're not good enough. There's a real natural way of life, which is perfect harmony. Everything can be in harmony. So, Lester got his freedom 73 years ago when his heart attack really led him to the truth. And inside each of us, we just have to be smart enough to see that we're not going to get anywhere the other way. The other direction is just more pain and suffering. And releasing gets you turned around and gets you in tune with this unlimited state, which is, it's like another field. It's like another way of looking at things. And it just takes learning by practice, just like we did with everybody today. We just went through it just to demonstrate that, yes, it doesn't matter what your mind tells you is your problem. When you release, that problem loses its grip on you. So we'll show you everything you need to know so you can prove it out yourself. And you can do it just like Lester. Like Lester says, everybody can do it. So with that, I just really want to thank everyone for your participating. And then Lance, I'll turn it over to you. And sorry, Lance, I kind of went a little long, but
No
let me,
problem.
yeah.
Great. My name is Lance Crane. I'm the director of Release Technique. My father, Larry Crane, is as Donna mentioned several times, started the Release Technique back in 1998. So we're celebrating our 27th year, which is pretty amazing. And we've gotten it out to over 160,000 people. And I wanted to share the opportunity to join us on a course that we have coming up next week. And also, I want to also talk about the Abundance course, which is the flagship product that we most people start with. And I want to talk about an opportunity for people to join and learn more about releasing. Donna just gave a very short sample of what we can do, and everyone that has gone on has seen a little lighter. And we want to dig it deeper and get people to a point where they let go of all of their negativity and get what they want in life. And that's all it is. And it's a decision to do it. So we have a wonderful opportunity for everyone to join. I have some people that have been around the world that joined us from YouTube, from a lot of different locations. And we have some people that are releasers that have been around for a while. So we have an opportunity for both, all those people to join new and people that are graduates around the world. So I want to bring it up. Basically, the Abundance course typically sells for $197 on our website. We have a really special offer that if you go to releasetechnique.com /offer, again, releasetechnique.com/offer, that'll take you to the website that brings you to getting the course for only $97 today. That comes with comes with a 30 money back guarantee, 30-day money back guarantee. It comes back also with a number of bonuses that value up to $4,206. And you can get it today for just $97. It's an amazing offer. It walks you through all of Larry walking you through the whole course in detail with over 20 audios and 123-page workbook, and it walks you through that. The nice thing about this too is it gives you the opportunity to also join our Wednesday World Call that we have each week. Every Wednesday we have that. It includes in that package. So we have it rain or shine. It doesn't matter if it's a holiday. I think this year we had it on Christmas and also New Year's. We still have it. So it doesn't matter every Wednesday. So that gives you the opportunity and access to get into that. And also, we have no one else offers it, which is an amazing opportunity. It gives you free support. So from Monday to Friday, from 9 o'clock to 9:30, actually in the morning to 5:30, you can join us and call in. You get access to a free call to work with one of our specialists in terms of working if you are stuck going through it. So we just not basically giving you a course and selling you a course. We're working with you step by step in regards to getting through that process and getting to the abundance that you want, and the life that you want. So the other opportunity, again, I'll give you the URL again. You go to releasetechnique.com/offer. So again, releasetechnique.com/offer, and then it'll take you to do that. You get 30 days to try it on your own at home. So it's great. It's a streaming product, so you can get it immediately. So once you go onto the website and order that, you'll get that right away. So I want to thank everyone for joining us. And Donna, I'm going to hand it back to you. Maybe you want to talk a little about some of the things that are going on and talk about the course and what people can get out of it. And once again, thank you so much for everyone joining us. Thank you once again. Donna, I'm going to hand it back to you. Your mute's on.
Are you sure? Okay, it's good. I want to answer too. I saw someone ask the question about what time on Wednesday. So the Wednesday live call, the Wednesday world call that we have, which Lance mentioned, it's a free call to anyone who's taken a release technique course. So we call it like our meetup, our weekly meetup. And that is at 5:30 p.m. Pacific time. And it's every Wednesday, like Lance said, even if it's a holiday, it doesn't matter. we do it. And if you miss the call, there's a recording of the call and you have access to all the recordings for the calls. There's a page where you'll have access to all the replays. So, which is really nice because, sometimes, you may be going through life and just somebody says something that just triggers you, and it's, the mind is just, completely just going through a frenzy. And you can just go back and listen to a replay and just release along with it. And it's so nice because it just takes you out. You realize, oh my gosh, this is so good. Thankfully for this replay. Or the same thing that Lance mentioned about the support line. The support line is open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. I've never heard of another company that has this where you have free support. You can call up and say, hey, I'm just stuck. I just can't get this out of my mind. Can you give me a hand? And then we can take you through a release. We don't give you tips. We don't fix it for you. We're not an authority. We just take you through a release. We're confident that releasing works. And it does. It works every time. That's the beauty of it. So the support line, and that was why I signed up, by the way. When I first heard about release technique, I was very impressed by the first demonstration when I listened to Larry take people through it. I was very impressed. I'd never heard of it before. It was completely outside of anything I'd ever known about. And the demonstration was impressive. But when they told me they have a free support line, they offered free, guidance. I just thought that sounds too good to be true. So I thought, it's a 30-day money back guarantee. Like, it can't hurt. And that was 13 years ago. And I love it. I'm so dedicated to helping to share, I would say we're like the living waters of this Lester's teaching. I mean, I just want everybody to know about it. I mean, I'm here because I want you to have what I have. I only have it because Larry had it, and Larry only had it because Lester had it. And so it's such a beautiful thing. And now my whole life is radically different than what it was when I first started. All the things that I was afraid of, all the things that I was worried about, all the wanting approval that I wanted from, my career was all just success, climbing mountains and trying to get somewhere. All of that is radically different. And I, can honestly say, like, I don't have any problems. I mean, if something comes up, I can handle it, but I'm not like plagued by anything. And, I experience the uncertainty of life just like everybody else, but I like the uncertainty. I call it, it's like a playground. I don't know what's going to happen, but my anticipation is that it's good and not bad. And that's a big difference. So one thing, that about this course that's coming up, I highly recommend everybody sign up for the course, the Unlocking Abundance course, because it's like we have blocked ourselves from abundance, whether it's health, whether it's money, whether it's career, whether it's, potential, whether it's relationship. We have blocked ourselves because we're naturally unblocked. So we have to take responsibility that, okay, if I blocked myself, then nobody's coming to save me and take out the blocks. I'm not like a little kid playing with blocks anymore. These are mental blocks. I've got to do the work. It's up to me. It's my consciousness. But if I, and this is, again, I can say this personally, I had to take responsibility for my own thinking, that if I was continually thinking a certain way, then nobody can go into my mind and erase that thinking, but I could do it. And by doing it, you change your consciousness. You go from I can't to I can. You go from I won't, right? Because sometimes it's not even an I can't. It's just like, you can't tell me what to do. You can't tell me to be successful. You don't have to be successful the way our mind has success or our parents told us. You can have your own definition of success. For a lot of people, success is just being happy. Lester discovered that, intelligence is your capacity to be happy. Well, when that gets unblocked, then, you make up the rules. You don't play the game by the rules that your parents told you when you were a little baby. You make up your own rules, and you set your own bar. You play your own whatever you like. and you discover in that freedom what your consciousness is, it mirrors back to you. So if you don't like what's mirroring back to you, well, then get in there and change your consciousness. Don't worry about changing it on the outside. You got to change it on the inside. And that's the beauty of this course. The Unlocking Abundance course is we're going to show you how to take your current living situation, and it's like rewriting the story. And you're rewriting the story to how you would like it to be. And then and we'll teach you how to release all the things that are sort of inhibiting you, that feel like they're, impediments. There are no impediments. That's the bottom line. There are no impediments but your thinking. But we go in and take all that, bring it all up to the surface, look at it. It's pretty, sometimes disgusting, ridiculous, and, asinine. But at least we expose it all. We bring it all up. We're all the same. We all have stupid stuff that we think. And we just kind of rewrite the book. We just decide, no, I'm going to hold in mind that I am abundant. I'm going to hold in mind that I am healthy. I'm going to hold in mind what the outcome that I would like, instead of holding in mind whatever yesterday was or yesteryear. Because the mind, we said this in the beginning, the mind's a recording and playback mechanism. So it's recorded up all this stuff, and now it's projecting it into the we're missing the truth. So, like I said, Larry used to have a saying like, do whatever it takes, put yourself in a course, learn this amazing tool, because then it's yours. And then if you don't like it, you don't have to use it, but you have the answer that Lester discovered. And Lester discovered what was universal. And, when you really see what universal truth is, all the masters say the same. They're basically saying the same thing. And that's what Lester's saying. He's not saying anything new. He's just giving us a way, a practical, revolutionary tool that is for today's living. You don't have to go to India and sit in a cave, and there's nothing wrong with that. But we live in a right now, time, and this method works for the way that we live right now. So Adam, I answered your questions. Does anybody else have any questions? You can raise your hand or you can put it in the chat, whichever you like.
Well, Donna, I don't think we have any more questions. I want to thank everyone. We went over a little over in time here, but I want to thank everyone for joining us. Thank you, Donna, for holding the call. And once again, if you go to releasetechnique.com/offer, that'll give you the $97 offer that you get today that normally sells for $197. You can also register for the Unlocking the Abundance, which I think is the way that everyone should go. It gives you everything. It gives you the Abundance course for free, $197 value, and then you basically drop into the course on Friday next week, and you're ready to roll. So that's a great opportunity, and I gave you the coupon code. Once you go to releasetechnique.com and go to live classes, you could register, and at checkout, you could use the coupon code UAT100. So it's Unlocking Abundance Telecourse 100, so UAT 100, and that'll save you immediately $100 and also get the Abundance course absolutely free, which is another $197 value. So we look forward to seeing everyone on the course next week, and want to thank everyone for joining us once again, and we'll talk everyone soon. Thank you very much. Thank you,
Thanks,
Donna.
everyone. Take care.